First, new regulations sharply curtailed logging operations. Cutting down trees for lumber was depicted as almost an act of cruelty. Even clearing dead trees was frowned upon.
There's too many trees. Why didn't we think of this? You madmen! Why are you planting more trees? Stop it! You'll kill us all with all the trees! Is California going up in flames? I don't know. California. Let's find out.
California, the Golden State. Home to Hollywood, Silicon Valley, Napa Valley. Glitz, glamour, and now, blackouts.
Whoa. That's a weird jump. Like, they're just, like, listing places, and then it goes from that to, like...
Home to Hollywood, Silicon Valley, Napa Valley. Glitz, glamour, and now, blackouts. In 2019, California became the first state ever to intentionally deny electricity to its own citizens. No power for your home, your Tesla, your cell phone, or maybe your oxygen tank.
Oh shit. So these are for the bougie, all right? These are the champagne socialists with their Teslas and their phones. But don't forget, there's also your grandfather's liberal. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You could have a liberal grandma. She's on the gas. She needs that gas.
This is California we're talking about. Not some impoverished third world country. California. If it were a sovereign nation, it would be the 5th largest economy in the world.
It's true.
Ahead of the UK and France. But in the hot, dry months of late summer and early fall, it can no longer provide electricity to its own citizens. It has to shut down its aging power lines or risk starting another catastrophic fire.
Whoa, wait. Are they going to address this? Is this going to be about global warming? It's going to happen. I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
In 2018, the town of Paradise burned to the ground. Over 10,000 homes were destroyed. 85 people died. In 2017, the Redwood Fire killed 9 people. California has always had wildfires, but now the fire threat is worse than ever. Why? For the answer, we should look to one of the state's leading citizens, Leonardo DiCaprio. The reason these wildfires have worsened is because of climate change.
Oh shit. Thanks, Leo. Well, we did it, everyone.
Case closed? Well, not quite. But Leo isn't wrong. Climate change has made the problem worse. He's just not right in the way he thinks he is. Let's get into it. Long before global warming became climate change, Californians had to deal with fires. The hot, bone-dry summer and fall winds, thick forests, and dense brush that cover good portions of the state made sure of that. As the state's population grew, the citizens, always aware of fire risk, took steps to mitigate that risk, sometimes intentionally, sometimes not. First, there were large-scale logging operations. These helped thin the forest. Then there were controlled...
It's going to be Fern Gully. I was wrong. It's not just going to be about global warming.
Fires purposely set to clear areas of brush in fire zones, which were then quickly extinguished. As the influence of the environmental movement grew more pronounced at the end of the last century and into this one, the state's policy changed. First, new regulations sharply curtailed logging operations. Cutting down trees for lumber was depicted as almost an act of cruelty. Even clearing dead trees was frowned upon.
There's too many trees. Why didn't we think of this? You madmen! Why are you planting more trees? Stop it! You'll kill us all with all the trees!
It was much better, the environmentalists contended, to let nature do its thing. And as housing became more expensive in the big cities, developers started to build homes further from metropolitan...
We knew and we did nothing. We did nothing. You maniacs. We did nothing.
Areas and closer to the wilderness. Parallel to this was the state's green energy mandate. Governor Jerry Brown declared that California would be powered entirely by renewable energy, mostly wind and solar, by 2045. Tremendous pressure was put on Pacific Gas and Electric, the state's largest energy company, to get started on this project. Here's where Leo gets it right. if unintentionally.
Oh, sorry. The bark beetle is what's killing the forest. This is bullshit. Well, I don't know. Do you think maybe that if there's some kind of change in global temperatures and if things become hotter and suddenly there's a larger migration of different flora and fauna to different parts of the world, and in those new temperatures they seem to propagate and they destroy the trees, does any of that have anything to do with an anecdote? Because I don't know about you, but there's a couple good anecdotes. Maybe a third coming up.
The green energy mandate turned the power company's attention and resources away from the power grid and to wind and solar. How did this lead to new and deadlier fires? Let's put the pieces of the puzzle together. Wildfires can be started in all sorts of ways. Lightning strikes, campfires not properly put out, a cigarette carelessly tossed away, or sometimes straight up arson. But the worst culprit of all is power lines. In 2018, fully half of California's wildfires were started by power lines or related electrical problems. It's not hard to figure out why. California's power grid is ancient. Most of its towers were built before 1950. Some of the lines are so old they qualify for the National Registry of Historic Places. The lines that are failing and sparking fires? No surprise, the old ones. The deadliest fire in California history, the 2018 Camp Fire that burned down Paradise, was caused by equipment that dates back to 1921. 100.
I think that was supposed to be a joke. It's hard to tell sometimes. It's just like, It's not as if, again, the temperature rising globally and everything becoming drier and more prone to ignition has anything to do with this as well. I mean, yes, old infrastructure is a huge problem, and yes, that should be updated, and yes, we should point some eye towards bringing attention to that. But at the same time, are we still going to ignore completely that the Earth is getting hotter very rapidly, faster than we ever thought possible, faster than our wildest projections? So,
it's not that the power company didn't know there was a problem. They knew, but they were focused on more pressing political priorities, like green energy. That's where PG&E, a public utility, which just means it's the politicians who call the shots, put its money and resources. In 2018, PG&E spent $2.4 billion on renewables. By comparison, in 2017, it spent $1.4 billion on existing infrastructure. So let's review. The forests grow ever...
So the money is being siphoned away and being given to the renewable energy. Big renewable. So big renewable is basically siphoning away the dollars that could be used for infrastructure, because that's how infrastructure is uniquely built in the United States. My God, it's all here. It's all before you. This 5-minute video. Your whole reality will crumble.
Brush builds up because controlled burns are not permitted. Developers build in wilderness areas. And the dominant power company chases its renewable energy mandate at the expense of nuts and bolts line maintenance. Such are the things uncontrollable fires are made of.
Such are.
Where are we now? PG&E is in bankruptcy, sued into oblivion, with no viable plan to fix the grid. Instead of bringing vital infrastructure into the 21st century, California is voluntarily turning itself into a third world country. That's what happens when progressives and environmentalists run things. The Golden State isn't going green, it's going broke. And it's going dark. When that happens, maybe a light bulb will finally turn on in the heads of California voters. I'm John Cobelt for Prager University.
John
to keep
Cobelt.
To Hollywood.
What are your expertise? Why don't you ever link to the people? I gotta look through your transcript to find him. The John and Ken Show. The fuck is this? An American talk show hosted by John Chester Cobelt. Draws in an estimated weekly audience of 1.2 million listeners. Oh, wow. He's like a far-right pundit. National Republican Congressional Committee. 5th biggest economy on the planet, as he stated at the beginning, going broke, suck my dick. Well, you understand why, right? All of you have learned. It's because, again, the money is being siphoned away from big renewables to make way for all the projects they have on the go. Hey, we want to mutual aid you to get some eyeballs on your work. So if you have a leftist YouTube channel or Twitch stream or something you want us to advertise, just send us a 20 to 30 second ad using the forums at weareserfs.com. We'll do our best to help you out. And please submit once per channel.
To our God, I'm Wrath. We pray at your altar of greatness. To our monarch, Thomas Bone, you are the light that guides our path. To our lords, Jeffrey Lamb, Trevor R., Stephen, Ninetails Cosmic Fox, Hans Josephine, and Poppy Nelson, we bow meekly for your pleasure. To our knights of the Round Table, Josh Mickelson, Dylan Byth, Alexander Thaler, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Clement Chetska, Skybear Games, Moss Beast, Political Puppy, Ali Menthol, Jimmy Bignuts, Alan R., Andreas Chitoro, Good Poon Hates Cops, That's Solid Poon Then, Dr. Zayas, Joppy, Radiclu, Violent Orchard, and Sophie Baby, we salute you. And to our many merchants and farmers, thank you. Fuck you, Lance!